Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Strike Zone with St. Paul Saints Manager George Tsamis. Strike Zone is a weekly program that gives you, the fans, the opportunity to ask the St. Paul manager questions about the Saints, baseball or sports in general, or just seek George's wisdom about life events that are going on out there. In this week's episode, George talks to us about the injuries the team has been facing. He shares with us the difficulty in finding pitching at this time of the year. And George shares his thoughts on the Blacklist returning this fall. So let's get right to Strike Zone. So let's welcome back Manager George Tsamis. George, do you have team updates for us?
Okay, yeah, since the last time I've talked to you, obviously it's been a rough time that we've gone through the last couple of weeks. We haven't played so good. I mean, other than the last 3 days, we played better and but beat a team that we should beat. And but it was a rough stretch there, just not getting the job done. It's crazy how the game works. When Winnipeg came here we swept them when they came here, and we went there and they swept us, and it wasn't good. They played a lot better, and but at the All-Star break now, we're 1 game out of first place, and it's obviously not the best of times because since we played at CHS Field, we've been in first place pretty much the last 2.5 years, and so it's not good the way it went, but again, we ended the last 3 games, winning the last 3 games, and you move on and got to play better here down the stretch.
When you're having a tough stretch like this, are there challenges in trying to keep the team's spirits up so they're not kind of getting down on themselves?
That's the manager's job to try to motivate them, and I said some things I said to them the other day, and some guys liked it, some guys didn't, but you know what? We're here to win. We're not here just to play. We're here to play to win.
You've had to release Robert Coe recently. I know he's had such a big impact on the team, and you've known him for so long. I'm sure that was a really tough decision for you.
Yeah, that was tough. He's had a rough one, and just the velocity wasn't there anymore. And, it's just one of those days, and he was an expensive player on our salary cap, and if you're an expensive player and not getting the job done, sometimes it's tough to keep you around, but I really care about him, and it's just tough the way it went down, but it's a long season. You never know what's going to happen, and we're at 10 pitchers, so you never know who you may see back here a little bit later in the season. It could be him, it could be somebody else, it could be none of them. So, but Robert Coe's been a great pitcher for us for a long time, and who knows, maybe a little break, maybe a little 10-day, 2-week break will do him good, and we'll see what happens down the road.
Tony Thomas and Kes Carter came out of yesterday's game. Do you have a status on where they're at right now?
Yeah, Tony Thomas has an oblique injury when he swung yesterday, and he will not be playing in the All-Star game. He flew out this morning. He will attend the All-Star game in the events there, but he will not be playing in the All-Star game. Who knows if he'll be out days, weeks? We really don't know at this time. So obviously that's a tough blow. Kes Carter got hit in the foot yesterday, had to come out of the game. I'm guessing that it would be a day-to-day thing with him. Will he be able to play Wednesday? We're not sure. Danny O is close to coming back from his concussion. We thought for sure we were going to be able to activate him on Wednesday, but after he took BP the other day, he didn't feel so great. So we're not sure what's going to happen with him on Wednesday. And Caleb Thielbar, he also has a oblique injury now, and he'll be out for a long time. So that's a major blow to us. But as the manager of the team, and it's my job to replace him, and other guys need to step up and get the job done.
A lot of time on the phone, I would gather, over the next few days.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we have Shark Week on Discovery Channel, so I'll be sitting here doing that and being on the phone and me watching the great white sharks. To me, that's one of the coolest things to do, just to watch them. I can sit there and watch that for hours. So that's what I'll do while I'm trying to get some other guys in here.
So does that mean you watched the big Phelps versus the Shark race there?
I didn't see it because we had a game, but I heard it was terrible. So, but I did tape it. But just those great white shark things, I really enjoy watching those when they have them on, and I've seen it over the last couple of days here, and I'm going to see it for the next 5 days.
Awesome. Well, let's head right to fan questions. We have Craig from Minneapolis who'd like to know. He says it seems like a lot of teams in the league are having challenges trying to find pitching. Is the well just running dry?
Absolutely, it's a tough. It's tough at this time, and here's the thing too. In our league, when you have the veteran rule, you can only have the 5 veterans. Well, when you have 5, it's not like you can bring another veteran in, and because you have the 5 veterans. But who knows now? Now that we know a little more about Theobar's injury, I guess we probably could bring in another veteran player, position player, or pitcher. But you have to go out there and find them first.
Wow. Adam from Richfield would like to know. He says, "How hard is it as a manager when you feel like everything is going against you?"
It's not fun. I've been doing this for 19 years and 15 years here in St. Paul, and the last 2 weeks were probably the roughest times in my whole managing career.
Wow. Lisa from Minneapolis would like to know. She says, "Is there a part of you as a manager that knows when things are going so bad all of a sudden that they can turn just as quickly back around?"
For sure, they can turn around. You go through stretches. You can win 10 in a row, you can lose 10 in a row. It's the way it is, and since we've been here at CHS Field, it's been more of doing well. But hey, we went through a rough time. Winnipeg's a really good team, and we went in there and they beat us up pretty good. And except for the game Hamburger pitched, he pitched a great game, and we lost on a walk-off homer. But he pitched a great game there. And but the other games we weren't so good. They smacked us around, and they actually punched us right in the face, and over and over. And we need to recover from it.
Gene from Chanhassen would like to know why you hold a stopwatch during games.
So the main reason is because when a pitcher's on the mound, you time him to home plate, and some guys are slow to home plate, easier to steal, and some guys are quick, and obviously those guys that are quick to home plate, it's a little bit tougher to run on, but that's what it's for. Just you want to time the pitcher to see how slow he is to the plate, and the slower he is, the more chances you run.
Tom from Apple Valley would like to know. He says, "I noticed that the team stands in the exact same way every time during the national anthem. How did that formation get started, and how long have you been doing it?"
I don't know how it got started, and I don't know how long we're doing it. When it's time for the national anthem, we just go stand out there. So, that's just the way it is. But people need to be out there for the national anthem, and there's some great singers and good voices, and you enjoy it.
Yeah, I noticed that is what Ole always stands next to you, and then Kerry. Is that the way that works?
Yeah, usually. I mean, I don't invite them; they just come stand next to me.
William from St. Paul says, "George, as much as I know you hated to lose that 17-15 game, that was just crazy. I have never seen anything like it."
That was one wild game, one of the craziest games I've ever seen, and we came back nicely against a guy throwing 96 miles per hour, and we tied it, and too bad we couldn't pull it off, and too bad we lost the game the way we did on that call at first base.
Eileen from Padre Island asks, she says, "My son has been contacted by some scouts about being drafted. I know it is easy for 18, 19, 20-year-olds to do some really dumb things. I am wondering if you have some advice on things I can tell him to avoid that can really lead to trouble." Okay.
First thing, you need to stay out of trouble. You don't need to be going out, hanging out with the bad people. Just sit at home, watch Shark Week. That's the first thing you should do. Sit here for the week. You don't need to get involved with wrong people. You know what? Just go get the job done, work hard, and keep your mouth shut. That's my advice, and that's what I tell my players today. And there's a lot of things that people don't even realize. Players still that play on my team, when major league organizations call about a player, first thing they ask what kind of guy he is. It's 100% accurate. And if you're a jerk or a guy that's maybe not the best character guy, they're not going to take you. I'm telling you right now. And it's just keep your mouth shut and go about your business and do it the right way.
Shark Week and Blacklist.
For sure. That's what you need to do. That'll you won't be bored with either one.
Blake from Anoka would like to ask, he says, "Is there a way to improve consistency in mechanics beyond just throwing over and over until the muscle memory takes us over?"
You know what? Just keep doing it. You can watch games on TV. We'll watch how the major leaguers do it, and in most cases you'll see guys that do it right, and I know you'll have a little you have a few guys that do it different, but just keep doing it, but doing it right, and again, just keep throwing. And he said, you just never know. And some guys blossom a little later in their careers. I think when we had Tanner Shepard here, years ago, he was a position player. I don't think he pitched like his junior year in college, and he ended up being a first rounder. So it's not too late, but you got to put the work in and do it the right way.
Blake would also like to know if you think watching yourself on video can assist with mechanics as a pitcher.
Absolutely. It's a great thing to do. Pitcher, hitter, anything. Watch it. You can go in the mirror and look at it, because that's a good way to see it, to see what you're doing wrong. But absolutely, video is a great thing to do.
George's favorite questions of the week. Shelley says, first of all, you guys were talking about the return of the Blacklist. October 4th is the date. Woohoo!
That's woohoo is correct, and I didn't even know until I saw this. So because I've been sitting here crying about the way we've been doing, so I didn't even know until I saw this. So that's great news, and I'm looking forward to it, and it's always exciting.
Lily from South St. Paul says, George, isn't it awesome that Ryan Eggold is returning to the Blacklist after leaving for that spinoff?
Yes, it's great. He's good, and you watch it, you like him probably. It's good. I like having him on there, and again, looking forward to it.
That was Tom. I usually don't know the actor's name, so that's
Tom. That's good. Yeah. There you
okay.
go. See, you're paying attention.
Our last question this week comes from Walt from Minneapolis. He says, that is great about the Blacklist, but either of you watching Game of Thrones? Come on now.
You know what? I've never seen it. I've heard how great it was, but I've never seen it. And, so maybe I need to get involved, but I just haven't. By the way, where are you on the Blacklist now? What season are you on?
Season 3.
Oh, you're on 3?
Yeah.
Last time I talked to you, you were like on season 1. So
no, I was in season.
Really?
I was in season 2 a few weeks ago, but I've been blasting out now. So.
Oh, that's really good. Well, good for you. That's great. Well, yeah, that'll keep you busy.
Somebody's got me convinced. So.
That's right. Well, there you go. Well, good.
Well, thanks for joining us this week, George.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Okay.
All right. Talk to you then.
We want to thank Manager George Tsamis for joining us on Strike Zone this week. If you have your own questions you'd like to ask the St. Paul Saints manager, please send them to us at askgeorge@minorleaguesportsreport.com. That's askgeorge@minorleaguesportsreport.com. Please have your questions to us by Saturday evening so we can give Skipper a little time to review them before we record the show. I'm Rob Pannier, the managing editor of the Minor League Sports Report, and we'll see you next time on Strike Zone.